Hello, everybody. Well, Hurricane Irma came and blew through our state, and all 67 counties were affected in the state of Florida. And you know what? God bless. Everybody made it through for the most part. We did way better than we thought we were going to do. But I know there's a lot of questions out there that people have about their insurance and what they can claim and what they can't claim and things like that. We've got answers for you today.
Bye-bye, Irma. Hello everybody, my name is Barry Horvath and this is Moving Forward TV with your local market update.
And I am Dylan Gaston. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Well, as I said, Hurricane Irma came and went. Thank God that it's gone.
She blew through.
I know, she blew through.
And she's gone.
And what a path she left.
And not forgotten, though.
Right. Never going to be forgotten. This is definitely one for the records. Strongest one ever. Anyway, we are hearing a lot. Obviously, in the mortgage business, we're hearing a lot of people have a lot of questions about their homeowners insurance, and they're calling us. And guess who I'm calling?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Our lovely friend Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance is here with us today. And there's a lot of questions out there. Your phone is blowing up.
Now, why aren't you answering my call?
Yes,
so first of all, thanks for joining us today.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me again.
So tell us what's going on out there. What are some of the hot spots that you're hearing about right now?
I think in our area, the biggest thing is because we lost power for so long. So when we lose power for that long, people are uncomfortable. They want to go to a hotel room, and get AC.
Heard it's covered.
They want. I don't know about that. They want. They want to know if their food spoilage. So many of us lost everything in our freezers and our refrigerator and everything. So there's a lot of questions about that. And then, of course, a lot of questions about the debris, trees that fell, how is that covered? And then, of course, the biggest thing is their hurricane deductible. How does it play in? What does it mean? All of that.
Can I ask a question about that?
So lots of questions.
I was just going to say.
Somebody yesterday they're buying a home, and they asked me about their hurricane quote. And, of course, I don't want to ever explain anything that is an insurance professional's job. But it said 2% hurricane. So he was totally confused by what that meant. He says, does that mean I only get 2% of the coverage? Or what exactly does that mean? So I know that seems so simple to us that deal with it every day, but for people who get their policy, throw it in the drawer, and never read it, can you explain what a 2% deductible means?
So there is a lot of confusion because 9 times out of 10, when you get an insurance policy, your agent hopefully has went over that with you, what those 2 deductibles mean, your all other perils and your hurricane deductible. Your percent deductible hurricane will always on a homeowner's policy be 2% or more. If people wanted to save that little bit of money, they went with a higher percentage. What that means is your dwelling coverage. So on your insurance policy, on your declaration page, your dwelling coverage. So if you're at $250,000, you're insured at $250,000, your hurricane deductible is 2% of that. So that is how it's figured. So the first percentage, or that first amount, is going to be your out-of-pocket. So for people who are calling me saying their food spoiled, and I say, well, did you have any other loss? Is your house okay? Is there any damage? No other damage. We just were without power and we lost all our food. Well, give or take, on average, that's about a $500 loss. Somewhere in between there, depending, right? Your deductible is a few $1,000s, minimum a few $1,000s. There's exceptions to that. Condo policies and renters insurance, those typically have smaller deductibles, $500. But on average, a homeowner's policy will be 2% or more. Okay. And I tell people you cannot get less than that on a homeowner's policy.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 2% of the overall insured.
The insured dwelling value.
So if you're insured for $100,000, your deductible is $2,000.
It's $2,000.
If you're insured for $200,000, it's $4,000.
That is right.
So somebody with a really big home, a $500,000 home, has a big deductible.
Yes, they do.
$500,000 home is going to be a $10,000 deductible.
Yes.
No matter what the claim.
No matter what.
That is so clear now.
And let me ask this question. So in a situation like this where it was a hurricane that came through that's caused all this, does it automatically go to the hurricane deductible and your other deductible doesn't come into play at all?
So here is the most confusing part. 48 hours before the hurricane is in our area, your hurricane deductible goes into play.
Really?
So we knew, here's Irma stirring out here.
Right,
okay?
and it hit us on a Sunday night.
So it hit us on Sunday. Friday, we went under the hurricane watch or warning. Anywhere in the state of Florida, watch or warning, okay? And then 2 days after the warning and watch has been removed, your hurricane deductible comes into play. Because there's bans, because sometimes it takes time before you realize that there's damage to your house. So that is why that will catch people off guard too.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow. I'm exhausted. Can we go to break yet?
I don't know. Is it time for break yet, or I have questions? No, it's not time for break yet. Okay,
no,
so
I'm still exhausted. I want to take a break.
Said, no, it's not time for break. All right, so a couple of quick things. So food spoilage, you already said. So it's really kind of like only about $500. So chances are, especially if you're under a hurricane deductible, like you said, I don't know anybody who's only insured for $100,000. Almost all of them are like, even if you have a smaller
even
house
if it's
or whatever,
a small house,
they're
it's
like
more than that.
Yeah. So right away we're talking like $4,000 roughly on the hurricane deductibles and things that you're going to have to be out of pocket. So it only really pays to file that claim if you have other damage as well. A tree fell and you have roof damage,
and you make it one
like
whole
that.
loss.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's almost like people need to have a catastrophic emergency fund set aside in case of a hurricane.
Yes.
Because
Spoken like a true financial planner over there.
You know, people don't realize the impact because they may not be able to afford it. So what
That's right. You know, I have some clients, only a few, at least that they've told me, they have a deductible bank account.
Oh, see,
and so
that's smart.
They put X amount of money until they have all of their payrolls deductible and their hurricane deductible saved in a savings account. And that is just their home account. So should something happen, that money is sitting in there.
That's a great idea. That is absolutely
because that is the biggest issue right now for my clients. Absolutely, they have insurance, but can they meet the $4,000 or higher deductible in damages? And even if they have that in damages, they still need to pay the contractor to repair their roof, to repair their screened enclosure, that type of things.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing. Now can we go to break?
Yes, but I have a whole bunch of questions I want to ask her.
We're going to get to all of Delyn's questions. We'll be back with some more great information post Hurricane Irma cleanup. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back with post-Hurricane Irma cleanup with Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance, and Delyn apparently has like 326 questions she wants to ask.
Hurricane cleanup, and not just your property, but how to financially get your claims, questions answered, and things like that.
And on the mortgage side, if we can talk about that just for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's all those, I've seen this and I've had this question asked me several times. people think, oh, I get a 90-day reprieve on my mortgage.
Right.
All I got to do is stop paying because we had a hurricane.
Right.
So,
wrong.
Yeah.
So here's what
What's
it is.
the truth in that?
So, right, us being in the mortgage field, so I checked this out, and basically you have to contact your servicer, whoever you pay your mortgage payments to. Contact them. There's on their bill or whatever, there's an 800 customer service number. Call them. Let them know that you are in one of the states affected by Hurricane Irma, and are they doing anything by way of relief. Every mortgage company, mortgage servicer is doing things a little bit differently. So please, please, please check it out. Whatever you do, don't just stop making your mortgage payments thinking you're going to be okay. That is going to create a 30-day late payment on your, and you can't do it after the fact and say, oh, well, you know, we should have. Yeah, I had Irma, so this shouldn't be. And you will lose that battle.
And every lender is different on their qualifications.
Every lender is different.
Some are going to want you to prove you had a loss or a claim, maybe send over the information.
And some are taking it and adding it to the back of the loan. That's called a deferment. Most of them are not doing that. Some of the car people might do that, but not the mortgage companies. They're doing what's called a forbearance. So they might give you 60 days, 90 days, something like that, without making your mortgage payment. But guess what? At the end of that 60 or 90-day period, you got to pay it.
You still got to pay it.
So be prepared. They're going to reevaluate it at that time and figure out a good way that you can catch it up again. It's not free. You will have to pay it back. Please know that. So before you go and enter this.
And it's amazing all the hardships that are created from a storm like this. Mm-hmm. Businesses without power for weeks at a time. I mean, that's part of it. You know, in our
loss of income. People who couldn't get to jobs.
They couldn't go to work because their business was closed. So many employers didn't pay. In the mortgage industry and in the title industry, people were not able to close. We have people that still have not closed.
In the insurance industry, we couldn't close because we couldn't get insurance. So bringing Angel back into this now, as far as the insurances go,
it's a rippling effect. These hurricanes
and the entire state of Florida. All 67 counties were affected. So this is, it's devastating.
All right, so to sum that up, call your servicer before you don't pay. Find out what your options are. Don't just assume because you read it.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, let's bring Angel back in.
Do it ahead of time, not after the fact.
Let's bring Angel back in because, Angel, welcome back again.
Thank you.
There were people asking me, saying, oh, I was without power for X number of days, so I have a FEMA claim. All my food is spoiled. I can go to a hotel. They're going to pay for it. True or false?
I don't know.
Thank you. All right.
Honest answer. Yes.
Thanks for joining us today.
Because that's FEMA.
Glad I could help. FEMA has so many different avenues when they come into play when the state has had a natural disaster like this. I only know on the insurance end. I do not know on what else FEMA will pick up. I have not heard of FEMA allowing you can go to a hotel and after 2 days, if you still don't have power, they'll pick that cost up. Maybe they do. I have not heard that. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I know on the insurance end, I have had people call saying, well, I want to place a claim because I haven't been able to stay in my home. I had to go to a hotel. Well, is your home damaged? Well, no, it just doesn't have power. Well, as much as we don't like to admit this, it's not a catastrophe to not have power.
Right.
And it's only a covered loss when your personal belongings, your electronics, your refrigerator, your appliances, things like that, are damaged because of a power surge. But simply because you don't have air conditioning.
Right.
And you maybe don't have flashlights or you don't want to use the candles or whatever and you're uncomfortable. It's not covered.
Right.
The house is still livable. It's not covered loss.
Right. The house is still livable.
The house is still livable. It's still safe to be in.
Right. You still have shelter.
You still have shelter.
I mean, air conditioning is only...
It's uncomfortable shelter.
But you know what? Back in the 70s, many of these homes built,
they
didn't have AC in Florida.
Right.
They put a window unit in, and that was like a big deal. You know, let's all gather around the window. So
it's funny, as I was boiling water on the grill so that I could wash dishes, my youngest son said, what are you doing? And I said, this is how it used to be done, son. You know, he didn't know. You know, he wasn't even thinking about that.
So it's funny when, first of all, let me say also, because I haven't, I am so impressed with our area. Generally, when we're under a watch or warning, especially as far in advance as they were predicting it to hit us, a lot of times I can't even go on Facebook or social media because I get so frustrated with people going, oh, whatever, I'm going to go to the beach that day, and they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe you're not affected by it, but I have clients that are affected by the storm, and it's not funny, and it's not to be taken lightly, and there are people who are affected.
Yeah.
So be grateful if it ended up turning and we didn't get any bans, or what we did get was much lower grade. It is a very serious thing.
Right.
And you cannot predict Mother Nature, and you cannot predict these storms. Right. And I really am so impressed that thank goodness this time, our county and our surrounding counties took it seriously.
Right.
It could have been a lot worse. It should have been a lot worse, and it wasn't.
We dodged a bullet.
So we truly dodged a bullet. And if people weren't prepared for a stronger storm, hopefully they believe this too, and they know this to be true. If they weren't prepared for a Cat 3 storm, they would have had damage from more damage than there already was from just this Cat 1. But because they were prepared, they had to pick up some tree limbs. And yeah, you know what? They had to eat some canned beans.
Right,
you know,
right.
And they had to make sandwiches instead of cooking a hot meal. And maybe they took a couple of cold showers. But they had their home, and it was intact.
Right.
And it could have been so much worse. And it's because people were prepared. So back to insurance-wise, it's the exact same thing. That week before the storm hit, so storm hit on Sunday, Monday through Friday, my phone, I had to have taken hundreds of calls from people who are my clients, who are not my clients, trying to get insurance.
Right.
Because now they're worried, or now they want to understand their policy, or now that $100, because they took a high deductible, is not as important. Right. So I cannot say it enough to know your policy, know what you're covered for, know what's out of pocket. Because even though you have coverage, you're going to have...
Don't wait until there's somebody...
now.
Right. Because you can't write them. It gets to that point, and they cut it off, and you guys can't write it. And I think it was Wednesday, right? So we didn't get hit until Sunday.
That's right.
For the most part, you couldn't get any insurance after Wednesday.
That's right.
And that's several days before the hurricane, and everybody knew it wasn't going to hit until Sunday. So just so people know, you can't get it. Get it now. Get it before anything happens.
So we're going to take another short break.
Okay.
And then
really short, because I have more questions.
I know you do. And we're going to find out when we come back who covers what. So we'll be back right after this. All right, we're back, everybody, with Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance talking about post-Irma cleanup.
Can I ask my questions now?
Yes, you better do it quick because clearly we're going to get off topic. Go.
Okay, so here's some of the stuff. Angel, let me just fire them off at you if you don't mind. A tree falls on the car.
Comprehensive auto coverage.
Car or homeowners?
Car.
Car. Can you use the deductibles or anything like that from the other one to...
No.
No. Okay.
So the hurricane knocked down the tree, but so it's not covered on a hurricane. It's your car.
It's your car. So you use your car deductible, not your $4,000 hurricane deductible. Okay. Cool. Same thing with if it killed your motorcycle or your boat that was parked in your driveway or anything like that. It goes to that vehicle's coverage. Okay, good. And that's deductible. That's good to know. All right, how about, this is a good one too. Water, I don't have flood insurance because I'm not in a flood zone, but water damage, a tree fell on my roof and, tore up some shingles or whatever, and now I have leaking in my house, and now I have water damage on my floors and everything. Is that?
2 answers.
Okay.
Part 1, everybody in Florida is in a flood zone.
True.
Everybody. Part 2, water damage. In your scenario, water comes in from anywhere other than the ground flowing into your home. It is water damage covered under your homeowner's policy.
Okay.
If you have water damage on your homeowner's policy. Water comes in through the windows, comes in through the roof, covered under your homeowner's policy.
If you have, so that's an option on your policy?
Not all of them, but as your home gets older, there are limits and exclusions on water damage.
Oh my,
very important to know your policy.
Okay, the other thing I've heard, mixed signals on screen enclosures. So we have, a pool and you got the whole screen thing going over it and a tree falls and takes that out.
Yes.
Is that covered or not?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Read your policy, talk to your agent.
Perfectly clear.
Yes, clear as
you
mud.
run for office, I'm voting for you. Because you are going to be my political idol.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. See, I could be a weather person too. 50% chance.
That's right.
Screen enclosure, here's how it works. Most insurance companies have now went to where it's a buyback option, meaning original policy doesn't come with it. You must endorse it and add it on, and it goes in increments of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, all the way up.
Okay.
Keeping in mind this, the actual screen material not covered. The part that's covered is the aluminum framing, okay, that goes around it. The reason being is the screen material is relatively inexpensive. You don't want to place a claim for just a few $100s, right?
Oh, okay.
But also,
well, we do,
it's
but
to
we
stop.
don't want to pay the
but
deductible.
You do, right? But insurance companies don't want people calling because their animal ran through a panel of the screen. They don't want to pay just for that. Insurance is made for this type of loss, hurricane loss.
Okay.
That's what your insurance policy really is for. It's not supposed to be used for these little these little claims. It's for the catastrophic big loss. So very important to know your policy on those screened enclosures because it's expensive coverage. It's not cheap, but when you have a tree that falls on it, you're going to want to replace.
So the tree falls on it, takes it out. Again, we're talking hurricane deductible that you have to meet first. But those things are expensive. You're right; they're like $8,000 or something like that.
Right.
So speaking of that, so a tree falls on your house.
Where did you get that number?
I don't know because I was pricing them.
She did the estimate in her head.
No, I was thinking.
She's like, the tree fell. I need an enclosure. $8,000.
No, the enclosures, I was going to put one on. I don't have one over my pool.
But doesn't it depend on the
$8,000.
size? And there's a lot of things.
Yes,
right.
But anyway.
Stick to loans, okay? You're really good at it. All right.
So the tree falls. And it's leaning on the house or, the screen back or whatever. To get that removed costs a fortune. To get that tree taken off and cut up and everything. Is that covered?
Sometimes.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I'm winning your vote more and more, aren't I?
See, this is why
Here's
there's so
how
much
it works.
Confusion. Okay.
50% chance. So, insurance company typically will remove the tree from your house and drop it in your yard. They won't cut it up. They won't take it away for you. Very important to know.
So they'll
that's a
pay
big
to
part
have
of
it.
the expense, though.
Yes, it is.
Because they got to have those grinders and all
a
that.
crane.
Yes.
I know like Pasco County's offering free dump right now.
Yes.
They have the pickup service. So.
Right, for the trees and things like that. Okay. Moving on to a lot of people wanted to get flood insurance right at the end. Tell us how they can't do that.
So this is funny because, again, that's my answer. People will call and say, and they did, I need to get flood insurance. Can I still get a flood policy? Absolutely. Yes, you can. I could have written a flood policy on Sunday when the hurricane came through. Want to know why?
Because there's a 30-day wait.
Ding, ding, ding. You get an A+, Barry.
See?
Because there's a 30-day wait. That's right. There's a 30-day wait. 30
Why do they have that?
days.
Why do
They have that because insurance is a pool of risk. We all pay in, right? So when there's a payout, all our insurance premiums are in this bowl, and they're pulling out of the bowl. Well, how fair is it that we have been paying flood insurance and paying into that bowl for 5 years, and somebody who goes, well, I have saved money for 5 years, but now Irma's out there and I'm going to go ahead and pay $400, and then they have a claim for thousands of dollars. Right. It's not how it works. Insurance, you have to take financial responsibility for your belongings also. And if you were worried, this is my point, if you were worried about flood insurance, get it now and take the 30 days. Don't wait again for a storm.
Right.
Be responsible, be accountable for your actions. If you were worried, get it, because there is a 30-day wait. It will not go into effect.
And it's cheap. If you're not in a flood zone, it's cheap, right?
If you are in a preferred flood zone, which is X, C, or B, if you have a mortgage and you are not being required to carry flood insurance, it means you are in a preferred flood zone.
Because she already said the state of Florida is all a flood zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are on a peninsula. Did I remind you?
Yes. But you can get a preferred policy, and the maximum you'll pay is $450. That's the maximum.
A year.
A year.
That's
a
cheap.
year.
I want to be in that bowl.
That's cheap.
Yes. You want to be in that bowl.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up, because you had mentioned that you were getting a lot of calls, renters. People who don't own their home and rent, but now they're worried Hurricane Irma is out there, and what happens if the roof blows off this house I'm renting? Is my stuff covered?
That's right. And renter's insurance is even cheaper than flood insurance. I probably wrote about 12 to 15 policies between Monday and Wednesday, all the way up until midnight every night. They range from $100 a year to, and then up, depending on the coverage that you want. But and they have payment plans.
For your $120
So why are you not doing this? It's so inexpensive. And then again, something happens to that house, your personal belongings are covered at least.
Right.
Not for flood insurance. You're a renter.
Is there a deductible on that, renter's insurance?
Yes, there is. Typically, it's $500.
Okay.
No more than that, unless you have a lot of personal
But with
property.
everybody with TVs and electronics and computers in their houses these days.
It's easy to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to blow through that $500.
I know you have more questions.
No, actually, we blew
You're
through
done.
our
You're
list
done.
pretty quick.
All right,
we
let's
did
talk
good.
about what's
Thank
going on
you.
in the community real quick and wrap up. So, Angel, thank you so much. Great information.
No, thank you.
Wonderful.
Really
and,
good.
and if
So-
anybody needs questions answered, I know her cell number.
Yeah, she won't answer it, but you can call her right now. I'm just
She
kidding.
is on
I'm
it
just
all
kidding.
the time. She's
I'm just
wonderful.
kidding. Like, we
We
couldn't even get her
appreciate
on the
her.
show. She's like sitting there going, da, 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 da,
Just
da, da.
a wealth of knowledge.
So
So if you
thank
do
you.
have questions,
Thank you for all
No,
this.
thank you.
All right, upcoming events, go to WPBA.biz or .rocks for what's going on in the community.
WPBA.rocks,
And,
because we
you know,
do.
remember we have the upcoming Grinch event, December 8th at Spartan Manor.
Right.
You don't want to miss that event, and it'll be online to buy tickets. So pre-sales coming out. So be
Pre-sales
ready
coming
for
out
that.
pretty soon.
All right.
All kinds of stuff going on. Please check us out. We appreciate you guys watching.
Share the show.
If
Like
you have
it.
any questions, call Angel. Share the show, like us, tweet it out, whatever. I don't know.
She doesn't have
We
any idea
appreciate
about
everybody
social
watching.
media.
We are today and every day.
Moving forward.
We'll see everybody next
Thanks,
week.
Angel.
Bye-bye.